Hello, my name is Esperanza Ruelas, and today my persuasive speech topic will be: should police officers be required to wear body cameras while on duty? Okay. Have you ever watched the news and seen that somebody was killed while getting arrested? Or you've seen protests about the victim's rights getting violated? Most of these cases are seen through body cameras and more. Body cameras can help with these cases since they are known as being proof, since they record most of the footage of the situation. Okay. With these body cameras, we can see what was the reason that these deaths happened and if the people really got killed for having other stuff involved or for the actual case. People get killed each year by police officers. This is an ongoing problem. Once we see the footage of the altercation, we then see who was at fault. Most of the times, it's police officers misunderstanding something. According to the Law Enforcement Epidemiology Project, around 600 people die a year from police officer brutality. For the next few minutes, I will discuss the following: the harmful effects that the family goes through while losing a family member, what causes these misunderstandings, and how body cameras being a requirement can save lives. So, what are the harmful events that family go through? There are several problems that families and victims go through. Around 2020, there was a case of somebody named George Floyd who got arrested and was killed during a similar altercation. His death was seen by many, and there was also body camera recordings where we see the man saying his last words, "I can't breathe." He was basically discriminated, um, and he was murdered by police brutality, according to the Center of Policy and Equity. This later caused extreme protests and extreme riots. This happened in different cities across the whole US where people used the famous chant Black Lives Matter, according to New York Times. Many places also got broken into during these protests and riots, and many of them ended badly. During this time, there was an estimated of 7,750 riots or events that had to do with the movement Black Lives Matter, according to the ACLED. Everywhere in the US, there were riots for a while where many people also ended up being arrested and more. Most of the times, these riots were meant to be peaceful, but at times, people turned it into something else. This also shed more light on past and future arrests that had to do with human rights. Many people had noticed that this was happening a lot in the past and in the present. Around 2018, there was also an altercation where a man named Stephen Clark was taking his phone out of his pocket and he got killed because police officers believed he was pointing a gun at them. There were videos circulating with the body camera that officers used that showed no gun anywhere. This caused others to say that he had been killed for nothing, since he only had his phone in his hand, according to CNN. This caused a lot of controversy because the body cam footage was seen where police officers were heard saying to mute the body camera. What causes these misunderstandings? It was seen that most of the time police officers assumed that something bad was happening without really looking into it. In the case I shared about the man Stephen Clark who was holding his phone, police assumed he was pointing the gun, and it made me think of other ways this could have gone. For example, they could have tased him or asked him what was really happening. This could have prevented his death and given him more time to see what the real situation was. I also think that there should be new protocols that should help officers be more aware of problems like this before taking matters into their own hands. There would be more specific groups such as African Americans and Hispanics that are being targeted in this. There is known to be more likely 3.5 times African Americans suffer through this, according to the Institute of Health Metrics. Many reasons this happens is because officers are not put into accountability and due to racism. At times, family has to beg for these people to be held accountable. One example was with George Floyd. When the officer had killed him, the police officer wasn't getting held accountable until the family was begging for his rights to be taken. Some solutions that could help with this problem would be better training and research. Um, Also, having requirements with the body camera. The rules should be stricter with this. They should have more backup cameras, and the camera should be on at all times. Their training should also be um, more strict, such as having new protocols to help them prevent the rights of others being violated. So today we've learned cases of victims that have gone through this, what caused these effects to happen, and more. Some solutions that could help the ongoing problems and the causes of these problems. Nobody should have to go through losing a family member due to police brutality, nor should people get their rights violated for a misunderstanding. Families should not have to go through emotional pain of losing a family member in this way. After all, human rights are for everyone.